Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now today's video is very exciting for a number of reasons. First off, welcome to Outer Limitless Blades. This is my very first video on this particular channel. Now, Outer Limitless has been around just shy of 10 years, but at this point I've taken my knife content, split it off, and now here we have it, Outer Limitless Blades. So today, the very first video, and I wanted this video to be something a little bit symbolic, something that I was going to kind of look back, reminisce, and enjoy. And today we are going to talk about the T-Kel Accomplice. The T-Kel Accomplice is a project with Tim Kell, a collaboration, T-Kel Knives, an Outer Limitless design, and this is a few years in the making. Here in my hands, my original sort of prototype that was sent to me for testing. Here in my hands, the completion of a production run, which at the time of this video goes live on April 15th. So if you're seeing this video, chances are these are live at this time, and there's not going to be many of them, and they are likely to sell out fast. However, today's video, we are going to look at this in detail because I'm proud of this project. I'm proud of Tim's work. I'm proud of the collaboration and everything this means. So with that, let's flip around the camera. We'll take a good look. And so as we get into this here, the T-Kel Accomplice. Again, that is a collaborative design that really is under my Outer Limitless design of knives, but manufactured by Tim Kell, T-Kel Knives. Absolutely fantastic. And this particular knife in my hands here is the original prototype. And this is a design that I submitted to Tim in June of 2021. In fact, I finished drawing it June 9th, 2021. And here we are, April of 2025. And the production run is now finally available after all this time. And people don't realize how much energy and effort goes into these projects, how much energy and effort goes into making this all happen. But here with the Accomplice, this is a very specific design for a number of reasons, and I'll get into that. But I did field test this particular unit here, my original prototype. So look back at my original Outer Limitless channel where I covered this in great detail. I showed all the capabilities, and that really did teach me that this was a viable design and something worth investing the time and energy into. And then, of course, here I am almost 4 years later, and it's all coming to fruition. And it takes that process to get it there. And the original, you can see here, had 3D printed handle scales. So these are not even real handle scales. They're literally 3D printed, and you can see it was originated on a 3-bolt design. Now at this point, Tim doesn't like the fact that that bolt is off center from the kind of middle of the handle. Theoretically, if that was slid up, then it would be centered, but then they wouldn't be in line. And, we kind of went back and forth a little bit and just ultimately decided it wasn't needed anyway for such a short handle. The original prototype having a very large logo. Now, I think it looks great and everything about this is awesome, but it really did have some refinements as we moved forward. So you can see here, had that little bit of a scallop, which I do like that. For me personally, I like having scallops on my designs. That aids in the ability to get alternate grips for the scraping tasks. And of all the T-Kel knives, this is and I'm hoping, really most outdoorsy translatable design. Granted, you could still use this for the self-defense and tactical purposes, but I really wanted a design that looked like a T-Kel, yet at the same time functioned like an outdoor knife for the general outdoorsman, and that's where the Accomplice comes in. So moving forward, I did get some production samples. So as you take a look, this is the prototype sheath, originally very slimline, has almost like a weld across the bottom rather than rivets to maintain a super slim profile. And we tried it a couple of different ways. So at this point, you can see this did remove that center bolt, ends up with that grenade grip, which is what T-Kel at this point is very well known for, very strategic in the way that that's done. Extremely effective, just nice overall texture, giving excellent purchase in the hands. But we also experimented with more of a smooth scale design, which I really like because, again, this is more of that bushcrafty knife. This is more of that knife that you're going to use in the outdoors. And so not having the hot spots, in my opinion, makes a big difference. But then again, it's a little less of a TCAL than some of the other designs. So for the most part, opting to go with the grenade grip really did strike the balance between that Outer Limitless design and the TCAL design. That's the whole point and purpose of a collaboration, and that's what it's like as a designer trying to design a knife that fits and integrates into somebody else's lineup. And so that's kind of the idea behind the handle. Now, in terms of the blade, you can see nice large belly, the ability to really get a nice amount of sliceability through that belly, and it's almost a continuous sweep. It's not quite. Comes all the way down, a little bit of flat down the bottom, unsharpened swedge, and I always like a saber grind. So from that perspective, this ended up working very well in design concept, and then again, just a matter of moving forward and nailing the construction and the fine details moving into production. And so as we moved into production, this is one of my coveted TCAL knives. This particular Accomplice right here is something that I will hold on to forever. Now, we did a very small run, limited and numbered, just to get these out into people's hands. And my favorite number is 17, always has been. It's been my jersey number, it's been my good luck number. And so I have the unit number 17 right here. So of all of my designs that have numbers on them, I keep number 17. I don't even keep number 1. In fact, all my number 1 models, including my TCAL Accomplice number 1, goes to my best friend and my best man, Jay. He has all of my number 1s. Every single model that I've ever created that has a serial number on it, with the number 1 he has, I have the number 17. It's my number, it's my good luck, and that's exactly what I get here with the Accomplice. So you can see, still having the large logo, but transforming to the 2-bolt design with the grenade grips and really settling into that final configuration. And then it still does leverage the prototype sheath, but you can see that works just fine. Perfect for the stage that it was in. And then with the original TCAL packaging, which is very nice, but Tim himself always going through an iteration, and he's now made some changes. Which takes us to the production run and what you're going to see on this drop. So awesome little tactical pouch here. Very simple, couple of different colors, black, and then the multicam. On the inside, you'll have the knife nicely presented. So he does everything to present the knife literally perfectly inside with the ballistol, protective wipes if you want them, and then you get your cool little Band-Aid, which is Tim's marching orders, be less dumb. And yeah, so everybody's always getting cut at Blade Show and not really so careful with their edged tools in their hands. So yeah, be less dumb. I'd say that makes a lot of sense. But the production run. So on the sheath, you can see now it has been refined, not only having excellent grommet spacing, excellent slots and cutouts for general lashing points, the micro rivets, everything is so pristine, perfect, extremely precise, and the retention is insane, just so tight, so perfect. Comes with the clip, Scout Carry Ready. Everything about this, beautiful. But you do have a ton of options on these knives at this point. Now, in this particular drop, they're all pre-configured. They're all ready to go. Everything is already made the way they're going to sell. So at this point, this is an AEBL. There will be AEBL and 80 CRV2 choices. Mostly G10 handles. There are a few with micarta, basically like a tan micarta, might be considered green micarta, and then also a denim micarta, which is beautiful. Some will have gray lashing bolts, some will have black lashing bolts, but again, in the steel choice, AEBL or 80 CRV2. So gorgeous finish, absolutely pristine, perfectly made. That edge, wicked sharp. And a lot of people really do like this design for its ability to fit nicely in the hand, index as well, a full 4-finger grip, full 4-finger design, which not all TCAL knives are that way. Keep in mind the fact that he's generally tactical self-defense oriented, and so a lot of knives that are self-defense are going to be a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter, maybe take up a little less real estate. But for me, I wanted something that was going to fill out the hands, yet still be able to front pocket ride and potentially fill that sort of EDC and self-defense role. And so the Accomplice, in my opinion, definitely accomplishes that goal. Now, the other thing I wanted was a very round handle generally, so that when you spin the knife around, you can get your thumb over the top, do some good stabbing tasks. I really like to process wood with my knives, and so the ability to stab down through your kindling, twist and pop, and break it down into smaller pieces, absolutely critical. Now, some people have said that they would like jimping over the top. For me personally, on a knife this size and with its intended use, I want that to be just soft enough that it doesn't beat up your thumb. I want to do a lot of carving with my knife. I want to be, whittling and doing all kinds of work that, you don't need your thumb to be beat up by jimping. Sometimes it's worth it, but in my opinion, on this particular blade and in this shape, you really don't need it. Now, could this have had a little thumb ramp, and could this have had jimping and all the stuff to make it a little more stabby and a little more self-defense? You could. But again, keep in mind the fact that my original inspiration was this was going to be the outdoorsman's bushcrafty version of a TCAL knife, and I think it works out very well the way it was made. So again, keep in mind the fact that there will be a number of different options, all beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Tim doing a phenomenal job, his staff, his crew, camera wife, everybody involved in his team, they're phenomenal at what they do. It takes the entire team to make this product happen. I appreciate all of them for their hard work and dedication to this project. It's been a long time in the making, and I appreciate all of you. So again, these are going to be very limited. Look in the description box below where you can find all of the relevant links for where you can find your own TCAL Accomplice. Hopefully, by the time you've seen this video, there are still a few left, but it's hard to say. If not, you're going to have to jump on the secondary market, see if you can pick one up, trade somebody, or hopefully get lucky, and maybe we'll drop these in the future. But in the meantime, thank you, Tim, again for all your hard work. Thank you to all of you. I greatly appreciate it. Keep an eye out on my other channels. So my Outer Limitless channels, my primary Outer Limitless channel for the outdoor hiking and camping experiences and adventures, all the gear that goes with it. My Outer Limitless 2 channel, which is more on the tactical and firearm side of things. Here you are on Outer Limitless Blades, and take a look at my Outer Limitless Lights channel for everything lighting. Hiking, camping, lights, EDC lights, all of your indoor, outdoor lighting needs. That is Outer Limitless Lights. So again, thank you guys. Take care now. I'll see you soon.